Hi everyone, and welcome to Impact on Axs Tv, or Smash and Inside FS. I, Joey Styles, here with Jonathan Coachman and with Aiden English. And today on Impact on Axs TV, or Smash and Inside FS, we are going to see something good here today on Impact on Axs TV, or Smash and Inside SS. You got that right, Joey Style. Jonathan Coachman says we're going to see something good show here today on Impact on Axs TV, or Smash and Inside SS. We're going to see a good show here today. We don't know what we're going to see, but we know we are going to see something good here today. Well, I can tell you what Aiden English says. No one really seems to know what the TWF does, what they're going to be doing on their shows. But I do think that we are going to have a good match or a good show here today. And now here comes Cobra Commander now. Aiden English says. Sorry to clear my throat. So, everyone seems to think that I'm some kind of stunner lark. And they seem to think they want to make me the laughingstock of the 4-1 Bonds of Evil. I'm here to tell you that is not going to happen. I will not become the laughingstock of the 4-1 Bonds of Evil. I am one of the most evilest fair strikers that Hasbro has ever came up with. And for some time I've had a bind with someone by the name of Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre, this time I'm gonna beat you. This time I'm gonna be the winner. And you're gonna be the loser. Well, it is true, Joey Styles says, is that Cobra Commander or Snake Leader or Head, or whatever the English word would be, for that it had a bind, with Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre is seen to have it out for him, ever since sometime last month, Joey Styles says. Well, that seems to be true, Jonathan Coachman says. It truly seems to be, Joey Styles, that Drew McIntyre doesn't like Cobra Commander or Snake Head or Snake Leader or whatever the English word would be for that. Well, anyway, Aiden English says, I think that Drew McIntyre has double standards. Because his double standards. Folks say it's wrong for Cobra Commander or Snakehead to be a fear striker, to be a warlord, But they'll say it's not wrong for Drew McIntyre to do the things he wants to do. Hey, Drew McIntyre goes, I think everyone get about sick of hearing you bitch about how you think it's so unfair and think that you're being buried or being made the laughingstock of the 4-1 Bonds of Good. And I'm here to tell you that you are being buried. Well, you are becoming the laughingstock of the 4-1 Bonds of Good. I mean, you are becoming a laughingstock of the 4-1 Bonds of Evil. My mistake. No one will onlook a fear striker, a warlord, or a sea thief like you. So I can tell you what, and I'm going to do everyone a good thing here today. And here today, we're going to end up beating you once and for all, never to see your ugly leer in the toy wrestling gathering ever again. You seem to think that you got everything under run and lead, Drew McIntyre. Well, I'm here to tell you do not. You're not really cool anymore. Yeah, everyone talked about you back in the day when you came in WWE in your first run, and you won the WWE Interlanded winnings, and then you won the WWE at the time when the WWE SmackDown became Raw tag team winnings with Cody Rhodes. You didn't really do that much. Then you became followers of the Free Man Band before that team came to an end. Oh yeah, that was when you were on Raw the first time with David Taylor, and SmackDown the first time. Then you were on NXT the first time. Then you were fired. What'd you do? You went to IW, won the IW heavyweight winnings. Then you went to EXPW. You went to EPW. You won the EPW heavyweight winnings. Then you came back to WWE for your 2-diff run. You were on NXT for the 2-diff time. Won the NXT heavyweight winnings. Then you went to Raw for the 2-diff time. And you were teaming up with Dolph Ziggler. Oh yeah, you won the WWE Raw to win the 2-diff time with Dolph Ziggler. Then you and Dolph Ziggler started fighting. Then after that, after being a henchman of Shane McMahon and a whole whatever fuck you were doing, then you beat Brock Lesnar and became the WWE heavyweight fighter the first time. Then you beat Randy Orton and became the WWE heavyweight fighter for the 2-diff time. Then you lost it, and then after that you were on SmackDown for the 2-diff time, fighting against Roman Reigns, fighting against your so-called good friend Sheamus O'Shaughnessy on and off. That didn't quite go well. Then you were put on back on Raw for the 3rd time. Oh, and now you think you're going to be Gomford. You think you're going to become a 2-time WWE Interlanded fighter. I know one thing I'm going to do, Drew McIntyre says. You seem to think you got my whole yesteryear. Everything I did in WWE in the first run. Everything I did in IW and EPW. And everything I did in WWE in the 2-diff run. You seem to think I was so... You had me all fought out. All the shit I did in BBCW. But I could tell you one thing. You never fought out about me. I never gave up. Yeah, I made some mistakes. I made mistakes. But I did a lot more things than what most folks thought I could do. And I'm going to bloody kick your head right off your shoulders. Well, now we got the fight keeper in the ring now, Joey Styles says. And Covert Commander, or Snakehead, or whatever you want to call him. You know, scathed Drew McIntyre for his run in BBCW, WWE, IW, EPW, and WWE again. How he almost went to MLW, NWA, or AEW, or IW again. But neither side got him. That's right. That's why that's what Joey Styles said. That's right, Jonathan Coachman said. He did a kick and he took down Snakehead, or Covert Commander, or Snakehead. You know, everyone thought they were going to get Drew McIntyre, but WWE somehow kept him, Jonathan Coachman says. Oh, yeah. Now, everybody's going to say how great that he is, how wonderful he is. He can't handle being scathed, so he has to kick a man. He has to kick a man in a leer. Oh, again, down he goes. Here is a future shot, DDT, whatever the English there truly stands for. Drew McIntyre is going to beat the Covert Commander again, Joey Styles said. Yeah, well, it wasn't being scathed, Jonathan Coachman said. Covert Commander was just bringing out truth about all the things he did and all the wrestling business he'd been in over the years. I don't know if there's any scathing. Aiden English said he scathed him because he thinks he's a great. And the truth is, he's not the greatest wrestler, greatest overstar, greatest fighter, whatever you want to call him. You know, and he isn't the greatest fellow in the skilled wrestling business or in the sports glee business, Aiden English says. Drew McIntyre can't handle being scathed, so he beats up on Covert Commander or Snakehead. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre has gotten even on Covert Commander or Snakehead here today on Impact on Axs TV. And hopefully Drew McIntyre can put the Covert Commander or the Snakehead behind him now, Joey Styles said. Well, I sure hope so, Jonathan Coachman says, because at the end of the day, Covert Commander or Snakehead, you know, the Fear Striker, the Warlord, the Sea Thief, nothing to be onlooked, everything to be shamed and guilted. Aiden English says, I'm not saying that I onlook him for being a Fear Striker or a Warlord or a Sea Thief. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it's a double standard that Drew McIntyre goes around and, you know, starts fights with folks. And everyone seems to say that's alright. But when someone else starts a fight with, you know, like Covert Commander or Snakehead, then everybody makes a big deal out of it. Drew McIntyre's Aiden English said, I don't like it. Well, speaking of that, Gene Okerlund now is going to talk with Covert Commander or Snakehead. Alright, Joey Styles, Jonathan Coachman. I'm going to talk with Covert Commander or Snakehead, one of the evilest followers of the 4-1 Bonds of Evil that Hasbro has made. This doll who came from Big Lots many months ago. I think I've been buried, Gene Okerlund. I think someone has it out against me. I think someone wants to bury me and make me a laughingstock of the United Alliance of the 4-1 Bonds of Evil. Because since I'm a Fear Striker and a Warlord. Well, first off, being a Fear Striker and a Warlord and a Sea Thief is not something to onlook. That makes you sinful and unlawful. You know what? I don't need anyone to tell me that I'm a sinner and I'm an outlaw. Drew McIntyre's a sinner too. He's guilty of sins as well. I didn't do anything wrong in the toy wrestling gathering. Yes, I'm a warlord. Yes, I'm a warlord. I a Fear Striker. I a Sea Thief. Yes, I'm a sinner. Yes, I a outlaw. But the old double standard, Gene Okerlund, because if Drew McIntyre did things like that and all his hill runs, everyone seemed to like it. But if I do something like that, then it's wrong. First off, if I can think you're shifting things, the truth is you started this thing with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre did not start this thing with you, Covert Commander or Snakehead or Snake Leader, since Cobra is most likely a pejorative borrowed word. And Commander is a Frenchish borrowed word. It's the English word to be snakehead or deadly snake. Anyway, at the end of the day, you are a warlord and a Fear Striker. No one will onlook you. A lot of folks will shame you and guilt you for your deeds and your behaviors. You really think I care if folks gave me and shame me and guilt me and slight me for my deeds and behaviors? At the end of the day, like I've once said in the old Deke Bly Drawling show back in the day, they don't make Fear Strikers like they once did. Ha ha ha! And Drew McIntyre, you will yield. I think the G.I. Joe offshoot of the 4-1 Bonds of Good are helping Drew McIntyre besmirch me. I think you did a good work besmirching and shaming and burying yourself. Well, that's my talk with Covert Commander or Deadly Snakehead. Back to you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. Well, thank you, Gene Okerlund, for talking with Covert Commander or Deadly Snakehead here today on Impact on Axs TV or Smash and Inside Farseer. And it looks like it is all the time we got here. No, all the time we got here. No, hold it. Before we go, one more thing to do before we leave now. What do you want, Drew McIntyre? What do I want? First off, astronomer or Corone, whatever you want to call yourself. I think that I should have a shot for the TWF heavyweight winnings or the world heavyweight winnings. Well, Drew McIntyre, you are a former two-time TWF heavyweight fighter. You are a former two-time WWE heavyweight fighter, IW heavyweight fighter, EPW fighter, WWE NXT heavyweight fighter. So I'll see what I can do. You know, I'm not going to make any oaths here, but I'll see what I can do. Thank you. Well, it looks like it is all the time we got here for Impact on Axs TV or Smash and Inside FS. I, Joey Styles, Jonathan Coachman, Aiden English. We hope you like Impact on Axs TV or Smash and Inside SS. And we'll see you tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown.